Alright, so we're gonna be doing an in-depth set video. We're just gonna start by I'm going to go through every single thing. So all gameplay settings, video, audio, controller, stuff like that. I don't really use mouse and, I'm not good enough at mouse and keyboard to really give suggestions for that, so. But we'll go through. Compact, interact prompt style, because just less clutter. Button hits off, again, less clutter on your screen. Damage feedback, which is the X when you hit someone, off. For me, I don't like it as much. Stacking damage numbers, because you really all you need to know is the total damage you've done on them. Faded ping opacity, personal opinion. If you don't have health bar on, then I don't know what you're doing. You need to have health bar on, enemy health bar on, because then it just gives you advantage. Everyone else has it on, so just don't put yourself at unreasonable disadvantage. Enemy highlight on, same thing. Obituaries on. That's the kill feed, so keep that on. Minimap rotation off, I don't like when it turns. You always want to have weapon auto cycle on empty on, so that like if you run out of bullets, you're not stuck there trying to hit your swap weapon button. Always sprint is another preference, I just don't like to have to swap between sprinting and stuff all the time, so I have it on. That gets rid of that. Auto run I have off, so I do walk, but like once you the whole point of always sprint is once you activate sprint, once you go past a certain point, it just goes to sprint. So like, you can move without it happening. And then once you get to a certain point, it's gonna move you forward. On mouse and keyboard, it's just gonna always put you in a sprint. And then we go jetpack such guide control. I have on hold, but I don't play Valkyrie, so it doesn't. This is just irrelevant for most people. Incoming damage feedback 3D. That's gonna show you here. They hit me. It's gonna put that arrow right there. 2D would give you a different type of indicator as well. Turn that off. And taking damage closes death watch the crafting menu. I have it off because you don't. If you're trying to get a shield swap, you want to be able to get that shield swap. If you have it, then you could keep getting kicked out of the box and just waste so much things. These are off. This is what what tells you low ammo, missing syringes, or healer stuff. It's just such an annoying thing. This is what tells you. This one is what tells you like your legend just keeps talking about they need ammo or need healing. So I have that off. It's just annoying things. I don't even know what this is. Okay, just minimap controls. I have it keep it on maximum so you can see where everything is. Off-screen portraits. I guess keep it on. I didn't know that existed. Keep this on. Streamer. The rest of this is all just preference. Laser sight I have on the default setting. My crosshair is this lime green. It works on pretty much everything. Here's the numbers right here. 625581. That's the numbers to be able to get that crosshair. I played Dirtanopia, which is where, so like for example, they're blue now. I've been playing this since there was Digithreads. I used it with Digithreads because of being in the zone. You'd be able to see them easier because they're blue against an orange or red outline. Keyboard, okay. Controller. Button layout. That's the button layout. My custom button layout. So. I don't use an Xbox controller, but it thinks I do. So, that's what that is. But that's pretty easy to translate over though. Like, B is just circle, and X is just square for PlayStation. Everything else is just how it is. Default stick layout, default interaction, hold crouch, hold aim, survival slots off so I can spam heirloom. Like this. Adaptive triggers, I don't have a PS5 controller, so it's off. Trigger dead zone's none. Menu cursor speed is almost max. This is just what I feel is like the best accuracy for looting Deathbox for myself. Movement dead zone small, inverter look off, vibration off. Vibration is just, it's weird. I don't use it. I don't suggest using it. Okay, so this is the ALC settings. I personally really like this right now. I mean, the hip fire is a nice feeling. It sticks. You can see it slow down on the person right there. And then ADS feels good. It definitely has a learning curve. This sense is essentially it's just a slower hipfire version of Canberra's. ADS uses 130 ADS. I use 150. It's just a slower hipfire. He uses 400 hipfire. I use 250. I think as I adjust to the hipfire, I'll raise it up. But this sense beams, dude. It's good. Recoil controls I know is pretty solid. If you're comfortable with pure linear, it's nice. If you don't like pure linear, I'd say move this up to like 3. And then you're gonna have like a little less pure. You're gonna be able to move your stick more without over aiming or under aiming. I keep it at 0 though. 2% dead zone. 2% 0 no dead zone. 2% out of threshold. And now if I'm not using ALCs, I use these 4-1 linear bleed throughs.
Maximum level.
Which they beat pretty solidly as well. I don't use and then another sense I did use was 3-3 linear, but I don't use it anymore at all. And then these are the per optics for that when you're using 4-1 bleed through. The way you do 4-1 bleed through, if you don't know, is you go to ALCs, you turn on per optics, you set the per optics up, you turn off ALCs, you put this to 4-1 linear, and now your ADS is faster than the 1, and it just allows for like finer control. I used it a lot in Season 1. It was taken out a little bit. They also it's pretty solid. It's a good sense. And then moving on to video. Okay. I use stretch res. This is the stretch resolution I use. 4:3 and 5:4 by 1440 and 1080. 59% brightness. Anything above 60% just hurts my eyes. Field of view 108. I don't really use the lowest I've ever used is 104. I suggest 104 above. Video settings, I use really low video settings just because I don't really care for how the game looks, I care for how the game performs. So everything's just low. I had anti-aliasing on and video reflexes on enabled plus boost. This decreases latency, so if you put this all the way up with low video settings, you'll have really good response time. I don't go to none on the texture streaming budget, because that's what Fade uses, and that's what looks like a potato. Audio. 85% master volume. There's all my things.
Still need to pick an upgrade.
You just put that there. No music. Dialogue very slow. Sound and background on so you can hear what's going on behind. Just sound effects really is what I have up. Just the reason sound effects isn't at 100% is because sound effects include everything, like shooting, etc. And that's already so much louder than walking. And walking is very scarce in this game. So turning that up, the walking audio, I swear in this game is the same no matter what sound effect volume you have on. So just it allows for less shooting noise, and then minimal dialogue, because you don't need to hear the characters yap that much. You can put the music on if you like listening to it, I just don't care that much anymore. So that's basically it. So then I'll talk about, like, best thing you should do, especially when using a linear sense. Just come in here. This has no aim assist. Best way to practice your tracking is just shoot this all. Like, if you really want to warm up. If you want to warm up and not use R5 reloaded, just come in here. practice your recoil on it, you can do anything. I'll say this sense is probably the best with it's best with SMGs, the Nemesis, Devo, the Havoc with a 1x is really good on this sense. Flatline's good all around, 301's good all around, Spitfire, G7. Alternator's a little iffy, Wingman's good, shotguns are good. I don't really use snipers, so like,
Wingman here.
Mastiff,
Shot, even
Eva,
shotgun here.
Mozam's are
Mozambique
really good
here.
on this sense for some reason. G7, good on any sense. Spitfire is good. I'd say the only time the Spitfire's a little weird is if you have no barrel and like a 3x, it's a
Got to
little
choose an
weird on
upgrade.
this sense. Same with the 301, like no barrel, it's a little iffy because it like, your gun can kick more because there's less, the way response curve works is the lower the response curve, the less, the more input you have to do. Well, the less input you have to do to move your stick. So, like, that also impacts how recoil works. Like, if you're shooting, you get, like, half straight down like that, it's gonna shoot straight down. So if you're accidentally moving up a little bit or down too much, it could just throw off how the recoil works. So I always like to have a barrel stabilizer when I'm using, like, off drop, of course you can't control it, but like if you're gonna use a 3x, try to find a barrel as soon as possible. Even a 2x sometimes. I feel like the 3x is more comfortable than 2x. Like this is the way the 3x is looking with it compared to the 2.
Still need to pick an upgrade.
The 2x just like I don't know, a little iffy. And then for recoil control, so mouse and keyboard. Not gonna give any tips for that because for me, M&K just doesn't really have that much of recoil. But if you're on controller, don't pull straight down. You want to pull to the side, like in slow increments like this, just down and to the side. Most guns are gonna shoot, like the 301 shoots up and to the right a little bit, so you want to go down to the side a little bit. It's more, recoil in this game is more diagonal than it is anything, except for like the G7. It goes straight down. But like, if you're the biggest guns to master recoil on are 301
here.
It goes up to the right a little bit like that. R9 up and to the right. Flatline goes up and side to side.
What to choose?
Car up and to the left. It's the opposite of the R9. Volt, this thing just doesn't have recoil, dude. It pretty much goes up straight, a little bit of side-to-side movement. Nenny, up and a little bit to the side, but hugging to the right. L-Star is up and side-to-side, hugging to the left at certain curves. Havoc starts off, when it first kicks, it goes up to the right, and then it goes pretty much straight up. Devo... Yeah, it starts off going up in a straight line, then it goes over to the left, and then it goes over to the right. So that's like your big recoil controls. Most of it's like Apex has a diagonal recoil pattern on most guns. So yeah, that's really all there is. That's how you can think about mastering recoil. That's the sense.
What happened to my upgrade?
Those are the best guns I highlighted.
I didn't
pretty
pick
much.
one yet.
I don't really use the ranged guns that much, like the 30-30 or anything. I know it's good with the G7. When I have used the 30-30, it's pretty solid with it. So, there's the settings, everything that has to do with it. Hope you guys enjoy, and catch y'all next time.